Send. Sitting. Am I right? This one's for all my office workers and people with sedentary lifestyles. We all know sitting's bad for us, right? Wrong! Inactivity is bad for us. Prolonged periods of inactivity during our waking hours is not what the body was designed for, okay? But most of us still have to sit for several hours a day, including yours truly. I had no idea how much I would be at this desk putting together a fitness business online. But it's a lot. This is the most I've sat since grade school, and I hated it then, and it's not my favorite thing now, but it must be done. So what do? I assume most of you can't quit your job. So what you need to do instead is just become better at sitting, okay? And step one is acknowledging that sitting is a verb. It's a posture. Posture is something you do. It's an action, okay? And just like any other action, from walking to running to jumping to sitting, you can do it well or you can do it ineffectively, okay? So that's the first thing to understand. Sitting is something you do. It's the inactivity that's really bad for us, okay? If we acknowledge that, if we know that sitting's a verb, how do we do it better? Here's a handy mnemonic device for you. Get back, get loose, and get up. Get back, get loose, get up. Let's talk about first, get back. That's the posture element, okay? You all know what I'm gonna say, don't slouch. Now, why do we slouch in the first place? Lack of engagement. We're so relaxed as we sit that it's very natural for gravity to start pulling forward, especially as the chin dips. This is the key to everything. As soon as your chin dips, everything else starts to follow if you lack engagement, okay? So step one, just like in your movements, engage your body as you sit. Just because the chair is here supporting you doesn't mean you can't engage your body. If you want to hold yourself in the get back upright position, you have to squeeze a little bit. Now, you don't want to be so stiff that you can't do the work, right? But you also don't want to be relaxed. That's what spills you forward. So there's a Goldilocks level of engagement that we can squeeze up. Derive it from the center, from guts and butts. But every time you do slouch, you got to think, get back. And that means literally reset your posture by first lifting your chin and then tucking it back, pinning the shoulders back, not beyond the midline, but into neutral from a slouch, and then rolling your hips back. If we have our hips roll forward and our shoulders forward and our chin forward, that's what gives us the slouch. So those are the three pieces to correct. Head back, shoulders back, hips back, okay? But then the next part we have to worry about is our sight line. The biggest reason this whole slouch starts is because you use your whole head to look down at your device. Solution? A lot of people like to elevate their device so that it's at eye level. That's a good idea, but here's an even better idea. Remember that your eyes work independently of your head. Remember that? You can look down without turning your head down. You don't have to do this. You can do this and simply look down. And that's going to feel kind of weird at first, but it's just like anything else. If you practice it for a little while, it becomes the new normal, okay? So when you slouch, get back, and then look down with your eyes, not your head. Okay? So that could be enough right there. If you just fix that, that would mitigate a lot of the worst effects of sitting. And also, don't forget about leg posture and position. If you're a habitual tucker, as I was for many, many years, you are choking the knee to death while extending this patellar tendon and giving it tendinopathies of every sort. Make sure your legs are about 90 degrees or even a little bit beyond, okay? So right there, if you just fix your posture, you're fixing a lot of the problem. But not all of the problem, because see, not you, not I, not anyone can actually just sit here for 8 hours a day in perfect posture. The body needs to move. So that takes us to our second active sitting principle. The first was get back. The second is get loose. And what I mean by that is I want you to give yourself the freedom to move in your seated posture. Now that doesn't mean you're going to sit here fidgeting all day long. But as I've gotten better and better and better at sitting, I've been able to let my body move as it wants to while still working. That's gonna feel weird too, but just understand that suppressing your instinct to move is not gonna help you, okay? From the get back, good posture position, we need to give ourselves the freedom to move around a little bit within it. And this can just be a few seconds at a time. When I'm doing deep work, I'm very still for 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time, max. But really, what I'm mostly doing throughout the day at my desk is I'm moving my legs, and I'm moving my shoulders, and I'm moving my neck, and sometimes I'm moving the whole body. Not enough to distract me, but enough to keep the whole system lubricated. That's the whole point here. It doesn't take a lot of intense engagement and movement to start pumping blood and synovial fluid and hyaluronic acid through our tissues and keeping them lubed so that we can be here for 3 or 4 or 5 hours and not get up and go, because there's no fluid in our system. Keep the fluid in the system. That's the whole point, okay? So that's principle number 2. Get loose. Don't feel like you have to stay in the static, upright posture throughout the day. This is just home base. I want you to think of the upright posture as home base, and we can move outside of home base as we need to throughout the day, okay? So get back, get loose, move as you sit, and now get up. Ultimately, we do need to get up, and ideally we should be able to do this 20, 30 minutes a day. So I mean it very literally. Get up out of the chair and take little breaks whenever you can. Now, here is where I need to fix the camera. So we've gotten up, but we need to get back to work. Just give yourself a couple of minutes, okay? You don't need long to do a lot of good work, all right? So there's really a million things you could do. You could go on a short walk. You could do some stretching, but if you want a quick, efficient system, here's what I do. I yawn, I hinge, and I split. So that corresponds to upper body, middle of the body, and lower body, okay? Yawns, you'll find in our shoulder group. And this is just about as perfect a motion as you can find to counter the effects of prolonged slouch posture. That natural yawning motion that pulls.
You want a deeper explanation? Go to the Power Yawns video.
If you want a deeper explanation, go to the Power Yawns video. Next is hip hinge, okay? Now, we're already kind of in a hinge as we sit, so why would more of it be good? Lower back. This thing stiffens up, largely because these things turn off. If you squeeze your butt more as you sit, this won't be quite as stressed out, but it's still gonna get stressed out. So what we wanna do there is stand back into a wide hinge, use your chair or use the desk, squeeze into your hinge, and then begin moving your spine freely. What you're feeling for is length through the lower back as we continue squeezing up the body, okay? So we're getting a nice stretch, but it's an active squeezing stretch, wide hinge. And then my third favorite thing to do is going to address those shortened hip flexors. When we sit for a long time, all this tissue bunches up. We need to extend the hip and pull it apart. One of the best things you could do is a split squat, okay? As in a lunge. Most of you know this as a lunge, but you're going to select for lengthening of the back hip flexor. So you can use your desk, you can use your chair, you can use both of them to support this, squeeze up, and then push forward until you can feel that length going through the back hip flexor. And then you can even extend that a little bit further by tilting away from it, reaching away from it. Oh, make sure to do both sides. And those would be my main 3 that I do to get me through the day when I need to get up every 20, 30 minutes. Yawn, wide hinge, split squat. Other things that you can do, if you can extend your break time and follow it up with a little bit of massage. Rollers are great to have around to do a light surface level massage of your posterior chain, right? The glutes and the back, and don't forget to go over onto the side for your lats. And then a tennis ball is great to have for grinding up the bottoms of your feet. Your feet get so little tactile sensation when you're sitting at your desk. it's great to stimulate them with the ball during your movement breaks. All right, so let's review. Posture, get back. Squeeze and get loose. Move as you sit. Motion, actually get up and move around, especially in positions that directly counter the worst effects of sitting. Get back, get loose, get up. If you can manage to do all that and weave it into your sitting practice, not only is sitting not bad for you, it just becomes another tool in your kit. Enjoy.